I told you before, you have people to play with. All this time, you expect me to think and believe that you actually care? So they said that they want to do something with Wesker. So you'll actually go from Wesker Stars to Wesker Midnight. And they'll show you how he became Midnight from Stars. They were showing it. They didn't say how much it's going to cost or anything. But all they said is Wesker makes his way. You have to fight a bunch of guys just on the border of here and there, as an example, until you get to Africa. In Africa, he's got to try to kill all these guys just before he gets to Africa. And then I guess he's going to try to meet up with Excella. They showed a bunch of stuff on Capcom's website, like what they were planning to do, and everybody's like, you guys should do that. The main developer of the game decided to do that before, they're finished making this game. They're like, well, should we do it or should we not? And they looked at each other, and one guy's like, no, we worked on this game too long. This game looks just like Resident Evil 4, except for better graphics. With my internet on my computer being slow, I can't even go on the internet. I can't even look it up. I can't even look it up. No, my computer is like being gay right now. I feel like grabbing my computer and throwing it out my bedroom window. A buddy of mine is making something for me though, Chrono. Something that I've been waiting for a very, very long time. He is a hacker. A big time game hacker. And he asked me, he's like, dude, what do you want? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I could do anything. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, what if I asked you to make me a mod for this game? Like a Midnight Wesker. He's like, so basically what you like is, you would like a replacement model for Midnight Wesker to where he has his gun. I was like, you damn straight. He's like, well, I could do that. I was like, how? He's like, dude, there's nothing I can't do. He's like, for one, I got a nice computer. He's like, I got a big, huge computer with the Blu-ray thing in it. He's like, I got the Blu-ray blank discs. He's like, I can rip this game down and like pack it into that bubble thing and for you and send it to you, or something like that. He's like, I'll make it for you where you could play as Midnight Wesker with his coat on, and you would have Wesker Samurai Edge full strength. And I was like, well, what if people think I'm cheating? He started laughing. He's like, it won't show up on their screen, but it'll show up on yours. And I was like, what is that supposed to mean? He's like, dude, I could do anything. I was like, model swap. It's like pretty much. He's like, see, the game, Wesker's gun is using using models. Same thing with Wesker Stars. Wesker Stars, all the weapons in this game, his gun, his skin, is all made from scratch. The gun and his skin is actually made from scratch. It's not imported. Barry is not even imported. Either is Rebecca. All the models in this game for this game were actually made by a special engine. And because of that engine, Versus and Mercenaries can only have 150, enemies. In No Mercy, there's actually 350 in the game. Now, I've already asked Capcom if they can do that, and they said no, they cannot. Because of the FPS in the PlayStation 3, pretty much they went over the limit making Reunion, making all the enemies come out at once. Well, what makes no sense to me is, if that's the case, I don't understand. A PlayStation 3 is more powerful than a regular computer, I would think. I mean, you got 256, 2 cards, plus the graphics chip that's in this PS3, and they can't put No Mercy on the PlayStation 3, or do they just not want to? No Mercy is very, very, very hard. Your Hydra and your L-Hawk wouldn't even do anything. You would be in hell. When you first start out that game, you got hordes of Mahinis. 5 or 6 executioners right there in the beginning in the public assembly that you got to kill. And you're just surrounded by a bunch of guys. And what they did was, is when you play Missile Area, Corona, you can look this up, it's called No Mercy. You play Missile Area. That one spot where the 3rd Gatling gun guy comes from the ceiling, there's a rocket launcher right in that room. And in the safe is a first aid spray. And it's more of like a survival. You have to survive. Pretty much, they could, like I said, Capcom can do anything. Pretty much any hacker could do anything they want. You can modify this game easy. Memory. Heck, like pretty much hex editing this game, you could do that. Like if I had a computer right now that was strong enough to handle it, I could pretty much like hex edit this game. Like, say for an example, when Grand Theft Auto San Andreas came out, there was a program called Data Encryptor, and it was pretty much like thing that would read the code off of the disk, and using that code, depending on like what language it was, there was a bunch of these codes like 00. There's like 4 digits of zeros, and then a bunch of other numbers. And what they would do is they would put it into this program, and it would cycle through this program until it came up with the codes. So pretty much you could start out on any mission at San Andreas. Well, that's how you do that with Resident Evil 5 or Resident Evil 4 memory. Hex editing a code until that code matches. And that's how people have made all these codes. Yes, is there an action replay for this game? Yes. Not in this country, but yes, there is. You'd have to pretty much go to codejunkies.com and look it up in the UK, like England, and you can buy a cheat device for this.